The Phantom Punch breakdown number 5. The spatial awareness, as I said, of 1 Megumi Fujii. Let me pull it.
It's gonna be so good. Oh my!
So I didn't watch last week's before we came on, but this time I had to because like it's Fujii. I gotta check it out beforehand. And yes,
we need to watch. I think we need to watch this prior to coming on the show, just so that because last week I didn't watch it and I was like speechless by it. Right. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be like that anymore. I want to I want to talk
digest it a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Yeah, I'll send it to you for next week's beforehand. So
or Ghost can just send it to me too.
That's also true. Yeah, tag him in the email, Ghost. What are you doing? No, just kidding.
Ghost. This guy, Ghost, Phantom.
This guy. All right, let's take a look, you guys. Megumi Fujii, ring/cage control. Megumi was not a dynamic striker. However, her strategic understanding and tactical execution allowed her to maximize her limited tools on the feet. Strategy is defined as the pursuit of a single goal of an advantage over your opponent. Tactics are maneuvers that take advantage of short-term opportunities. Megumi's strategic advantage over her opponents was her ground game. This advantage also gave her the ability to pressure her opponents due to the threat of the takedown. While Megumi's kicks were not the best, Megumi understood how to use her pressure footwork and ring cutting to land open side body kicks. Here we go. And we get full speed and slow-mo this time. Notice how Megumi's opponent is trying to escape the ropes.
Beautiful arrows.
Yep, we got the wonderful color coordination.
Love it.
Megumi moves her rear foot to neutral stance to cut the ring. Oh, getting ahead of myself there. Still got to work on that timing. Neutral stance cuts off the left side of the ring. Opponent's only way out is to the right. As you can see, the base right there. Megumi throws a rear body kick to take advantage of the limited space.
Dirty. This is going to be filthy.
Dirty.
Oh.
Megumi uses a bounce to keep the ring cut and regain her balance.
Her footwork, dude. Amazing.
Sneaky for a grappler, that's for sure.
She's really, really good footwork.
Oh, then here's the slow-mo. Look at that. The art of the dance right there.
Yeah, dude. She moves around.
Megumi understood and leveraged the importance of cage position against Frausto. Robbery alert. If I don't say so myself. Coming in right at the beginning of the fight, immediately. Backed her up pretty much this entire fight. Notice how Megumi takes the center right away, which sets the tempo of the entire fight. That it did. Megumi has established a distance that forces her opponents back to the cage. This distance gives her 2 advantages. 1, defensively, she can pull back with enough space behind her. 2, she can throw her shots without the risk of overextending since her opponent cannot pull back. Megumi throws out these jabs, not to connect, but to keep her opponent moving towards her rear hand at the same time, closing the distance. Just so quickly, too, into the fight. You see on the clock there, within 15 seconds. Opponent throws a rear hand, which Megumi is able to evade because she has the space, since her back is towards the center of the cage. Take notes, Tyron Woodley.
Ghost really is doing the John Madden.
Right. This kick has 2 ideas. It has the tactical short-term goal, idea off balancing her opponent. It also has a strategic long-term goal, a plan of making her opponent reconsider slipping her head towards the rear side. And here we are. Nice slow motion. Really take it in the start of this fight here. Crazy too, because of, the fact that in this fight, she really got away from the game plan of trying to grapple and still very much should have won it. And of course, breakdowns like these really help you see how talented she was. Another example of Megumi's cage control coming right up. Here we go. Back it up. Get ahead of myself, as I do. Full speed into round 2 here, the 3:30 mark. Boom. Megumi now steps inside of the open stance to fire off her rear hand. The inside step allows her to roll under her opponent's rear hand by moving her head towards her opponent's shoulder.
Rolls that shit.
Oh, that was beautiful, man. That was so nice. Oh, slow-mo time.
Oh, so clean.
Out of the way.
So clean.
While Megumi might have lost this fight on the scorecards, Megumi was able to dictate the pace of this fight and give her opponent problems. It's because she should not have lost, Ghost.
Probably shouldn't have lost that fight. Yeah.
Oh,
exactly.
no. Megumi gets her head outside the line of her opponent's left shoulder. Whoa, that was very quick. I didn't do that. Megumi gets her head outside the line of her opponent's left shoulder while firing off her rear hand towards the chest. Also note that her opponent is now reluctant to slip because of the high kick earlier. Plenty of those. Boom. Her opponent tries to counter with a jab cross, but is ineffective because Megumi changes levels and throws a lead hook over the jab to exit the pocket. This allows Megumi to reset her position at the center of the cage. There you go. Throwing out this arm may seem insignificant, but it prevents Megumi's opponent from retaking the center. Make her think about it a little bit. Oh, she just came right in there. That's like chess right there. This is another example of Megumi taking advantage of their location. A little quick on that one, Gust. This is another example of Megumi taking advantage of the location in the cage, lining up her rear hand, exiting the pocket, then retaking the center. This was a story, this entire fight, Megumi's strategic pressure and her ability to land rear hands while at the same time being able to evade her opponent's attacks. Yep. Working from the cage was Frausto.
He doesn't give her opponent anything at all.
Oh. Megumi's constant peppering of the rear hand also allowed her to enter the clinch safely and effectively. Whoops. We are in the 4th round now. Coming in. Nice knee.
Yeah.
Trading.
Yeah.
Gotta love those little knee wars inside. Megumi's entry looks like she's loading up her rear hand, which forces her opponent to react with a lead hook counter, but this allows Megumi to enter into the clinch safely. Beautiful color coordination, of course. MMA clinch to this day is still a developing aspect of the sport. In Muay Thai, the best knees land in the transition between outside the clinch and the clinch. Not when guys are locked up in the clinch like in the grinding exchanges in MMA. Unlike Muay Thai, you have more time. To consolidate and improve your positions in the MMA clinch without the ref breaking it up. Megumi establishes a head post off her overhook where she is able to get her hips back. Megumi understands that to land knees, all she has to do is separate her hips from her opponent. And there you go. School in session. Megumi's ring/cage cutting is still being used today by the elite strikers in MMA. However, in women's, fighters who have a grappling wrestling approach mainly like to use linear forward pressure. So that leads to the question, why is linear forward pressure for grapplers so popular today, even though Megumi has shown how important cage cutting is?
I think for wrestlers, it's just because that's what they're used to doing.
Right. Yeah. It's just that
it's pretty much in them to do that now.
Yeah. Because, I mean, depending on what you're coming from and all that kind of thing, you're going to have your tendencies and habits, right? And all that kind of thing. And just depends on how you integrate it, if you get away from it, which surely does happen a little bit. But when you know what your strengths are, like Megumi always did, except for, maybe in that fight where she did get away again from the grappling a bit more than really most any other fight. Yeah, just kind of how it can end up, I suppose. But all right, I want to read through the comments here. John A saying, thanks, man. Up late, working. Thought he'd tune in. Appreciate it, sir. James said, this is going to be good. Megumi has so many tools that she does. Jin did not expect this. James always smokes. That's a nice kick. Joseph throwing in another comment, which we'll get to, unrelated. So hold that one. Jimmy says, Ghost to consider even after exchanges. Good stuff, my man. Indeed. Excellent as always. Jin says, these are the things I don't even consider when watching fights. I know. That's why we appreciate having Ghost around to help us out with that.
Definitely.
Mr. Beckham is here. What is up, Aaron?
What's going on?
Great timing. Sammy says he loves this shit. Of course, it is the best. Jimmy says, Ghost going above and beyond, as always. Jin says, I didn't even know how good Megumi's spatial awareness is. Right? It's the little things you don't even think about. And the funny thing is, right, she didn't need to have great spatial awareness all too much because she generally just got you down and submitted the shit out of you, right? So it's like when she needed to fall back on it, she could. And unfortunately, the stupid-ass judges got that fight wrong, but,
yeah,
she had those options, indeed. So
that's just how smart Megumi Fujii is, though, as a fighter. Just really, really intelligent.
Yeah, very clearly ahead of her time. So a goat for a reason, and loved that one, indeed. Thanks for that, Ghost. And Rain says, great breakdown. Very much so. Awesome stuff there.
Awesome, man. Love it.
Always. Can't go wrong. So
you really put a lot of time and effort into it. Like you said last week, 2 hours. 2 hours, dude, to put in last week's. So, 2 hours is a long time.
Yeah, I know. Just for little old us.
Awesome, dude. It's really great, though. What other shows have this? No other shows.
Ours. This place right here.
This fucking show.
Ghost says, brilliant stuff from Megumi, using tactics of elite strikers without being one herself. Cutting edge. Head of the curve right there. It's yeah. See, so that would be great, to see. Hopefully we can get to some point, Ghost, where other fighters start, maybe taking notes from you, man, coming, checking out. And that was kind of the point of separating these a little bit. Just got up both Ayaka ones now. So it'll be fun to see where this can all go. And good to see you, Alex. He's here. And Steve, our man.
Alvin!
Look at the excitement from Alvin. I don't think he's ever put so many exclamation points just in time. But all right.
That was excitement from Alvin.
I know. Don't often get that kind of energy out of him. I love it.
From Mr. Ghost. Alvin loves Mr. Ghost.
Hard not to.